It is only a mere dozen days that remain until the grand finale of the year-long celebration. The closing of the year is one of the largest celebrations in Cornith. Within the walls of Cornith, a city that has been scarred by the trials of relentless warfare, hope flickers like a solitary flame in the darkest of nights. The resilient souls of this besieged realm stand as a testament to the triumph of unity over adversity. Yet amidst the jubilant celebrations and joyous festivities, a foreboding whisper drifts through the air, hinting at shadows lurking just beyond the festivities' glow. Restless whispers of clandestine schemes, of power struggles unseen, forces pulling strings with a sinister intent. As the curtain falls on the era of turmoil, your valiant band has reconvened, drawn together by a shared quest for truth amidst a web of deception. With allies by your side and newfound friendships forged in the crucible of conflict, you have embarked once again to unravel the enigma surrounding Cornith as the city heals from the last war. Well, when we last left, you had spent the entire session kind of investigating and chasing down the mysterious stranger. You spent some time exploring the house on the hill and the caves underneath. You rescued a young woman who was being held prisoner there. She had some answers, but also she kind of led you to even more questions, more unsolved riddles. The mysterious stranger who you now know is named God, what was his name?
Eldon.
Eldon. Yeah, Eldon Cromwell. You now know that his name was Eldon Cromwell. He escaped just before Kate could spring her ingenious trap, once again slipping through your fingers.
Excellent.
But you did manage to rescue the young woman, and now you where we left off, you had turned her over to some of the city watch and asked them to escort home and bring everyone back and bring her and her family back to the garden.
Did we ever get her name?
Yes.
Yeah.
You did.
That Cromwell's name written down. I just didn't write down the chick.
Sasha Darby, and Judah is her father.
Yep.
Judah
Was her father.
Yeah.
Her name was Sasha. Judah was the
one that was killed in the
war in Tierslien.
Yep. Gotcha. Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, I had that written down.
Liar.
So Samdal and I believe just Samdal was heading back to the garden, right? Ember, you were going back to Downey Tower along with Sledge.
Yeah.
And Kate, you were going to the Tower of the Stefan Sky.
Right. So I'm also walking with Sasha and the two guards.
Yes. Okay. So it's still nighttime, but it is very, very late. It's maybe only just a few hours until dawn. Kate.
Yes.
You and the soldiers escort Sasha back down through the city. It may not look like it, but this is actually like a ramp. So you can like walk through the tunnel under this tower and
yep, I remember
on
that.
this ramp.
Yeah.
Actually, I think you guys actually had a fight on that ramp, didn't you?
We did.
Yeah. It was like one of the many fights against the master.
TJ did. She did something at the bottom of the ramp that caused like a bunch of whatever your opponents were to pile up at the base of it.
I did, it was a trip spill at the top of the ramp and they all slid down.
Wonderful.
Mm. So anyway,
I love my
you-
trip spell. It's like one of my favorites.
you guys are all kind of walking together down the ramp. You see the Tower of the Staff in Sky. Sasha's family's house is not far from here. So
Okay.
at this intersection here is where you guys decide to part ways.
I tell Simon to keep a watch over her until she gets to her home and then to come back to the tower.
Okay. And then actually, Samdal, are you walking with them too? Because it's kind of on the way to the garden.
Yeah, if it's on the way, then
Yeah. All right. So you guys continue to walk on this way. Kate goes to the Tower of the Staff and Sky. And then Samdal, you just kind of continue walking on this way. You're going to cut through here and then back down these stairs.
yeah.
Okay. I'll come back to you, Samdal. Kate, you go to the Tower of the Staff and Sky. And you see that there actually is there is a young wizard, you guess, or a member of the Staff and Sky who is there kind of at the door. He's kind of keeping watch. You see he's also studying some spell book.
I
He
say,
sees you approach and he looks up and he says, "Hello, what brings you to visit the Tower of the Staff and Sky at this very late hour?"
I need to see Leopold and Mud immediately. I say, are you guarding or are you reading?
He says, "Actually, I'm doing a little bit of both."
You can't.
And he says, "Well,
I'm telling you right now, you can't. You have to choose one or the other. This is not a time for slack security. If you're here for security, you need to study at a different time."
he says, "I'm sorry, may I ask, what is your name?"
Ooh, you're about to get fucked.
I'm Kate the Druid.
And he says, "Oh, Kate the Druid. Ah, I see." And he says, "Very well then." He goes, "Please wait here and I'll see if Mud and Leopold are available."
No need, I know where they room.
And he says, "I'm sorry, but I've been given strict orders to not
By
admit
whom?
anyone." He goes,
You want him to
By-
do security or not?
he goes by Leopold.
Okay. Wake Leopold up and tell him it's urgent.
And he says, "One moment, please." And you see he walks over to the door and you see he utters some word. He's like, and then he knocks once on the door and you see the door opens up.
Okay.
And you see he kind of looks and he goes, "I apologize to make you wait on the doorstep. You understand?"
I do.
And you see he closes the door. You see after a few minutes, you see Leopold comes to the door. And you see he goes, "Kate, what is it? I was I was sound asleep. What's wrong?"
We got a problem.
He
And I
goes,
said, may I?
"Yeah, yes, come in. Come inside." He says, "Is this about Mud?
What about Mud?
Is this problem about Mud?"
Why would there be a problem about Mud?
And he goes, "Oh, so this isn't about Mud. Okay."
Wait. What's going on with Mud?
He says, "It's probably nothing. Since you guys were here last, he's locked himself in his room with Damodar, and he's been looking at the orb almost nonstop."
Oh no. I said, no, I'm here about, do you know the haunted house on the hill by the castle? The one that everyone's afraid of?
he says, I mean, not really. No, why? What about
Oh,
it?
because there's a portal in the sub basement there that I don't know where it goes to, and none of us wanted to touch it. But there we dealt with a creature that is we believe is not from this world, and we need to close that portal.
He says, there's a portal, and it just remains open, unattended.
Correct.
Mud-
Mud would have touched it. Oh yeah, we know what Mud would have done. Oh, Rudd also would have touched it, I'm sure.
Damn it, Rudd.
God damn it, Rudd. Right.
he says, he says, where's this house? Wait, what? Where is this house?
I take out my sketchbook and draw him a quick sketch of where it's at in relation to the castle.
He says,
We have it locked up pretty tight, so you'll
He
have to
says-
find.
he says, can this, yeah, he goes, we should post some city watch around there too.
I say, I believe that this is maybe related to, if it's not related to your books being missing, then this is another trouble at our doorstep. But you need to look into the book of knowledge and see if you, and I kind of described the portal, what it sounded like, because it was red, it had like whispers coming from it. It was suspended. I explained the room with like the columns and the vaulted ceiling and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I said, I had a thought about trying to bring down the room, but then everyone suggested that the room might just fall into the portal and the portal would be open, but it felt off.
He says, I understand. He goes, let me grab my things. We'll go back up there right now.
No, I am almost completely out of spells. I have been up for like 36 hours and I've had 3 battles in that time. I'm exhausted. I need to pray and I need to recharge.
He says, very well. Then you can stay here if you want.
Thank you. I appreciate the hospitality.
He
I will
says-
check on Mud after I'm rested.
He says, the courtyard, if you would prefer to sleep outside, which I know you do, you can sleep in the courtyard. It's very safe there. And no one will bother you there. Not at this hour.
Is there an open top to the tower at all?
Yeah.
I say I'd rather be on the ceiling or on the roof.
He says, okay, that's fine too. I mean, yeah, he goes, it's climb, but you know where the stairs are, don't you?
I do. Thank you, dear.
Down the hall and to your right, and you can just take that one stairwell all the way to the top.
Awesome.
Thank you, Leopold. I appreciate it.
And he says, all right. He goes, I don't want to go to this house by myself. I'll get some help.
Well, and I said, read in the book and in the morning we'll reconvene. Ember can help us get in there because we'll need her skills. And from there we will help. We'll escort you back there.
He goes, so you think it'll be safe if I don't go there tonight?
Yes, I don't think anything more is going to happen tonight.
Okay.
We've all separated to heal and rest and do what we need to do anyway.
This is very well.
I just knew that I needed you to start looking at the book and to hopefully come up with a solution on what exactly this portal could possibly be. It doesn't look like any of your portals because I've seen his portals.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't look like any of his portals, correct?
No, it did not.
I was like, it doesn't look like your portals or any of the Elven portals I've seen. It has a unique signature of its own.
He says, interesting. goes, yeah, I'm definitely curious. And
Okay,
he goes, very well. And he goes, you can stay at the top of the
thank you.
tower.
So I go up there and do the climb and start my prayers.
Okay. All right. Um, Ember and Sledge, you guys make your way back to Downey Tower. As the streets are pretty quiet at this hour.
Good.
It's like 3 a.m.
Okay.
So sunrise is about 3 or 4 hours, 3.5 hours away.
I'm I'm like trying to keep a watchful eye to see if anyone is following us or watching us.
Well, I was gonna say I watched the rooftops.
Like,
Okay, both of you can make perception checks.
Cool.
Which is this would be a wisdom perception.
okay. Basically, I'm just like trying to keep like signs of anybody up because really no one is or should be except for the guard. $17.
Really? I got 18.
Mhm,
Oh yeah, well I got 19.
mhm.
To use a wonky die, and I was afraid to roll because I couldn't find my normal glowy dice.
No.
Where's your jingle dice?
They're here in this box.
All right,
But it takes
so
me a minute to figure which ones are tens.
you are both pretty sure that no one is following you. In the distance, you can hear there's sounds like laughter and some voices that are raised coming from some houses that are maybe on the next block over.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing that seems too unusual. Could just be the noises of maybe it's a tavern that's in that direction that you just haven't visited yet. But nothing too out of the ordinary.
Cool.
Cool.
All right. So you make it to Downey Tower. By the way, Harper is with you too.
Okay.
How old is she now? She's like, was she like 15 or
15.
something like that? Crazy.
Yeah.
Is she 15?
Yeah.
I thought she was like 12 or 11 when we started.
Yeah, she was 12.
Okay. Yeah, I guess 15 makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, oh crap.
Remember, like time went pretty fast while you guys were in Avernus too. You spent a long
In the
time,
Fey realm.
Yeah,
Both
and
times.
the Fey realm, right? Time in both those places went differently.
Well,
So
we've been playing for 4 years, so it would make sense game-wise that about 3 years have passed.
yeah. Although in our time, like a month will be a week of real time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Maybe.
depending on the
But
situation.
yeah, I mean, sometimes we'll play 2 sessions and it's like one night. So, like this time, yeah, yeah. So you guys get back to Downey Tower.
We're just trudging along. We're so tired that the only reason we're sure no one is following us is because we're going so slow.
Yeah. Harper seems unaffected.
She's got to be tired. We haven't stopped since we got off the ship.
I'm just telling you, he amazingly seems unaffected. So,
All right.
so so you guys all retire to your rooms, like separate rooms. You show Sledge where to sleep on. He wants to sleep on the rooftop, right?
I show him up to the rooftop garden.
Okay.
And I leave a note for Elsha.
So she doesn't freak out that there's a giant robot monster on her ceiling.
She met him. You met him.
I leave a note for Elsha that just says, strange happenings in the city. And I said, we need to talk.
Remember, Simon had brought you a note telling you that that guy specifically asked about your sister.
And I just say we need to talk and you need to use extra caution.
Okay.
with everyone, even the most unsuspecting characters.
Okay. As you're about to,
China E.
as you're about to retire, or you're about to slip the note under her door,
Mm-hmm.
you see, Monica Wedberg kind of walking down the hallway towards you with a lantern, and she's like, you hear her go, "My lady." She goes, is everything all right? All right? Is something amiss?
I'm like, yeah, it's been a long day.
Oh,
I'm
she
I say,
steps
it's
closer.
me, Ember.
She steps closer and realizes that it's you.
Yeah.
And she goes, "Oh, I apologize, Lady Ember." She goes, "I still have difficulty telling the two of you apart. My apologies."
And I say, it's still strange for me too.
And she says, "Well then, is is there anything that you require of me?"
I say, well, Harper is here. I also have a guest, a traveler. He's on the garden. I don't want you to be alarmed if you come across him. Elsha has met him already.
She says, "Does he require anything? Some bedding or anything like that?"
And I say, no.
I actually don't.
Called again? I'm like, I forget what they're called. She probably's never heard of it. If I can't even remember
I
what
don't
they're
that I don't require sleep or food.
I just say he doesn't require anything. If he needs anything, he'll ask.
Where's
She
my
says-
dirty martini?
Very well then.
And I say, how is Elsha?
She goes, she's doing well. I think I think she's excited for the closing of the year.
And I say, does she have any dealings with the monks, the followers of Pelor?
And she goes, "My lady, these days the followers of Pelor, the priests of Pelor are everywhere."
And I say, I say, are you an adherent?
And she goes, "Oh, no. Not for myself, no."
I'm like, that's probably wise.
She says, "My family," she says, she goes, "We're country folk. We're not really city folk." She goes, "We personally, in my family, we have always subscribed to the Mistress of the Hunt."
And I say, she's done much for Cornith.
Yeah, she
That's
has.
that's what I understand.
And I say, all right. And I say, I'll see you tomorrow. I say, thanks for looking after Elsha.
She says, "Of course."
I'm
So
so
she turns and
sorry.
she goes back to her room.
Mhm. I'm glad she came out when she heard me out there. That's really good sign.
Mhm.
Like, all right, I like this lady. She heard the noise in the hall. She came right away to see what's up. Like,
That's
all
great.
right, I approve.
Yeah. All
I
right.
go to bed.
You see, Harper says good
And
night
I'm
to
not a
you.
noisy person. Like, my boots don't even make noise when I walk.
No. And neither is Harper, really.
Yes, I mean, she knows the house. That's
You
really
you realize though that she may be likely, even though he wasn't in this hallway outside of her room, uh, Sledge is extremely noisy when he walks.
I mean, but she know that's what I'm saying. Like, she knows the house noises, and like if something's not
Yeah,
right, she's coming to see what's going on. That's good.
right, right. Okay, so Harper goes to bed. Do you go to bed too?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Um, Sledge, you're standing up on the roof. It's a beautiful, clear night. You can see the ocean off in the distance. It's the sky is clear. It's it's cold, but you don't seem to be too affected by it. Even though you don't eat or sleep, cold still affects you. and so does heat, although not as much as others, but you do have feeling. I mean, it's not like you don't have any feeling at all.
Right. No, I mean,
So
cold, but I
you,
enjoy it because it makes me feel alive
Mhm.
and it allows me to kind of focus and kind of meditate. I think I need like 6 hours of like peace every now
Yep.
and then.
Yep, it's like rest mode.
I'll
Mhm.
go into rest mode after I enjoy the evening for a little bit.
Okay, so you kind of just you're just kind of like standing there staring off into the distance.
Kind of go into a like a what do they call them? Like a gargoyle or the statues, they turn into statues.
Uh, you mean like sentry, like a
Sentry.
sentry?
Hey,
Yep. All right, Samdal,
Yeah.
you also make your way back down to the garden.
All right.
All right, it's extremely quiet here. Um, and there is no one there, except you notice that there are three priests of Pelor that are kind of camped out over by the house with the pantry.
They're not supposed to be there.
You see that they're sitting outside. They're not in the house, but they are sitting outside, and they're like awake. Like you hear them kind of laughing and talking to each other. They don't appear to be armed at all. In fact, they look like they're just wearing simple like tunics that have the sun symbol of Pelor on them. All three of them are males, and
Okay.
they look like they're maybe in their early 20s. They're all three human too.
All right. I say, what's going on here?
All right, you see as you approach, you see they stand up, and they're like, Captain. He goes, may the blessings of Pelor be upon you.
Mm-hmm. What's going on?
And he says, he
Why are
says,
you out so late or early?
and he says, well, we like to come early to ready the pantry whenever we can. To
Yeah,
give Lady to
yeah.
give Lady Downey a helping hand if she should require it.
Well, Lady Downey's not here. She's at home sleeping.
He says, of course, but at first light, we acolytes of Pelor always like to give our first prayers of the day. So we just prepare ourselves.
This is the garden of Corel Larithian. What are you doing?
I was muted and I said the exact same thing. I was like, in Corellarthian's garden?
Well, technically, this is Corel Larithian's like garden, like right here. Like this is
No,
like the
technically
whole
the whole
garden.
thing
Oh.
is his.
Yeah.
You technically us. What are you, them?
The pantry is thanks to Corellarthian.
Yeah.
That's true.
The whole thing is his.
Has this always been going on, or is this a new thing?
You see, one of the ones that has like he's got a shaved head, and he says, "Oh," he goes, "No, no, uh, uh, Brother Anselm has asked us to, you know, to see today specifically if there's anything that we could do extra to assist Lady Downey and her staff."
All right. Well,
Brother Anselm Brother Anselm felt that it would be good of us to lend extra help in case it was needed, and also to reassure Lady Downey and all of her friends and family that the the followers of Pelor were here to help if help was needed at any time with any.
okay. Well, have a good time sitting on the ground.
He says, "Is there, Captain? Is there anything wrong? It seems late for you to be out in this hour." I realized that, I realized that captain of the armies and the city watch, that you must have duties, responsibilities
Hey.
that keep you out late at night.
Duty.
So why are you asking?
Mere curiosity. Was there something specific that you that troubles you?
No?
If there was, perhaps my brothers and I could say a prayer to Pelor to guide you.
No, thank you. Good night.
That's
And
the best way to handle it. He reminds
Well-
me of Vimes, doesn't he?
Yes. All right. So you guys all take rest. Actually, everybody roll a 20-sided die.
Oh my god.
Well,
13.
20.
Uh, 18. These dice are hard to read, honey.
Oh yeah, they
Is
are.
that an 08 or a 18?
All right. Sam Dal, give me another 20-sided die, please.
7.
Gotta be a 18. Why would it be an 08? It's to just be 8.
7.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay. So the night passes without any incident. Sam Dal, you wake up in the morning. It's well past sunrise when you wake up. You feel
Okay.
very rested. It's probably sometime around 9 in the morning.
All right. I get suited up.
Okay.
What about your hygiene?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's part of my
All
own.
right. Is anyone in the house or no?
No one is in the house but
Okay.
you.
Dun, dun, dun.
I always imagined the pantry being attached to the house, though.
It is.
Yeah. It's because it's on the side of the house. It's not
So-
inside.
This is the pantry and this is the house.
Oh,
So
okay.
you can go from the main room, the long room of the house,
Mhm.
to the pantry, or you can go from the pantry from the outside to the pantry.
Okay.
And remember, don't forget you've got this little Heidi secret door back here
Yeah.
that goes up into the tower.
All right. I'm just gonna go in there, throw my eye around.
All right. You go into the pantry and you realize that there's voices coming from downstairs from inside the pantry already.
Okay.
All right. And you see that Lady Downey is already there. Elsha,
I was like,
not the witch. No, Elsha.
well, I mean, there's still also Ember Downey.
Yes.
She's not a lady, though.
She's Captain Downey.
All right. I say good morning.
All right. You see that she's also there with Monica, and there's a couple of other servants that are there. You see that they're already putting some food in baskets, and they're putting them right by the. There's a
So did
table
I
set
get
up.
home first because I had less distance to go?
Yes.
Okay. Like, all right.
All right. I say, I need some breakfast. Anything around?
You see, she just laughs. She goes, "Well, let's see." And she closes. She kind of keeps the pantry doors, like the cabinet doors, shut.
Hmm.
She opens them up, and she goes, Would you like some eggs with sausages And she closes the doors and she opens them, and there's eggs with sausages.
You know, those knights are there because they're trying to catch her bringing in food. They're trying to figure out where it's coming from, and they're going to be like, she's a witch! Burn her! Fucking bastards.
Are
Murder a
the
bunch of monks now.
are they there?
You see that? Do you look outside?
Yeah.
So there's a big window with like this shutters that are open.
Oh,
you
and I
see
say
that-
thank you. I'll take the sausage and eggs.
Yeah, and you see that there is a table on the outside where they're like handing the food out, the best food baskets out the window, and they're putting them on a table, and people are walking up and taking them. But you see that the priests of Pelor, or the Brotherhood of Pelor, all of them are gone except for the one bald guy.
All right. I ask her. I'm like, what's going on with the priest of Pelor?
And she goes, I don't know. They were here offering help earlier this morning, and I said that they were not needed, so I dismissed them. But this one still remains. He's proselytizing for Pelor,
In front of
trying to find some more converts.
So people are coming here for food and he's bugging them.
I don't know if he's bothering them. I don't having much success.
Shoo him out of there, though. It's still Corellirithian's domain, damn it.
All right, but
He's
you did
also
ask.
done more for this city than
Do they
That's
want
all
the
of
elves standing in their courtyard trying to convert people to Corellirithians? Say, like, it's rude.
get that shit off our lawn.
I'm like, but you did ask him to leave and he stayed anyway.
I didn't ask him to leave exactly. I told him that he wasn't needed.
If he's not helping and he's not getting food, then he should go. He's super rude.
Everybody's all like up in my business.
I hate this guy. If I was there, I would be causing trouble.
Yeah, obviously. Like with Eldon.
at this
Yeah.
point it goes mongrel men.
It was the
Pelor.
Mongrel Man.
Yeah, mongrel men, anything to do with Pelor, and then everyone else.
You know, you know where I learned this? I learned it from you, Sam. Kill them all.
Yes,
Yeah,
but
the guy who used to start every game saying I killed them all, and I was like, well, I
we've
really want to talk
evolved
to
though.
them.
We've evolved. We
Not
have to be
me.
more.
I
We have to
have
be more
devolved.
noble and more. I'm in charge. I can't kill them all.
Samdal was like,
For you.
"Hey, I'm gonna ask this
You
guy
need
a
a
question,"
hand
and then Ember just started throwing her knife.
Mongrel Men killed Cal. I will attack any Mongrel Man I see on sight.
Okay,
Then I might have to arrest you.
They deserve it.
right.
You're enemies of the state.
You're not going to arrest her. Come on.
All right. I say, all right, I'll take care of him. I'm gonna eat first though.
All right. She goes, Samdal, it's nice to see you here back in the garden so early in the day. Did you sleep here last night?
Yeah, just for a couple of hours.
She says, "Oh, well." She goes, let Monica know if there's anything else that you need.
All right. Do me a favor. I'm sure that I don't need to say this out loud, but if any of those priests of Pelor want to come in to the
Entry.
the pantry, do not let them.
And she says, "No." She goes, "Actually, Ember left me this note, or left me." She doesn't say this note. She says, "Ember left me a note, giving me some warning. It seemed rather ominous. What do you know anything about it?" She's kind of pulling you over towards the side.
You were there when Sasha told me, so
Yeah, they're up to something. We don't know what yet, but they're up to something, and they're trying to get the prince to join their Pelor And they're trying to get me to get the prince to join them.
But warn her
is-
about Eldon too, because you were there when Sasha told me if you were walking with us.
What about Eldon?
Eldon specifically was
Eldon
asking
about-
questions about her.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, and I said, there's some guy. We don't know what he is. He keeps turning into smoke and escaping us, but he was asking questions about you also.
Smoke, like literal smoke, like he's a sorcerer.
Like literally, yeah.
She goes, all of the years that I was a prisoner of my mother, and she never bothered to teach me not one single bit of magic.
Well, we could change that.
She goes, I've seen what that kind of power can do to someone's mind, though. I worry.
Well, how about a sword? You want to learn how to shoot a bow?
She goes, I've also seen what that kind of power can do to people. She goes,
Yeah.
no, I think I'll just stay myself. She goes,
All right.
but I appreciate you and my sister and all of you, being there for me and this whole city.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
All right.
All right.
So where are you going now?
I'm gonna eat and I'm gonna go out front, talk to this guy.
Okay. So you go out in front.
Explain a
You
few-
should just stab sausages with your dagger and eat them in front of him.
What the hell?
Stab them menacingly.
I approve.
Uh,
Just
All right.
aim your sword and be like, be gone!
All right, Brian.
All
Send
right.
out. What do you do?
Clean your dragon's breath and accidentally hit the trigger. That's all I'm
Oh.
saying.
I say, I was speaking to Lady Downey, and she said that your help wasn't necessary here.
And he says, oh, Captain. And he says, may the blessings of Pelor be upon you.
Did you hear me?
And he says, I did. And he goes, I was only talking to some of these fair townspeople about the many gifts of Pelor and what he has brought to the city.
Well, I'm pretty sure that you have a temple of your own where you could do that.
And he goes, yes. He goes, indeed. He goes, we do, but sometimes we must help the flock find its way.
Well, why don't you help the flock find its way outside of the garden?
And he says, hold on a second. What is your charisma?
Well,
18.
Oh, it is not. What is it?
Well,
All right. You see, he says, Captain Thacker, are you threatening me?
no. Do I look like I'm threatening you? Do
He
I
says-
look like a person who could threaten a priest?
He says, no, of course not. He goes, I'll be on my way. Thank you.
All right.
And you
Have a
see,
good day.
you see, he says, oh, he goes, and for you, and for you, child, here's a copper piece. And he goes, you should, he hands it to this woman who's standing in line. He goes, and here's a copper piece for you, my poor child. And he goes, if you're looking for work, don't forget, Pelor provides. Come to the temple and I can tell you more. And you see, she's like, she goes, thank you, my lord. He goes, oh, I am no lord. I am a simple servant. And he walks away.
I say, don't listen to the simple servant. I say, here's a gold
Bites
piece.
Here's a gold piece to ignore him.
Here's a gold piece. Don't listen to them.
Do you really give him a gold piece? Give her a gold piece?
Yeah.
All right. You see, she's like, oi, thank you.
I say, remember whose garden you're in.
You're not there.
And remember who saved the city? It was not their god. They suck. They could have helped and they decided not to.
All right, you see, she's like, she goes, "Thank you, Captain."
Sure.
All right, you see that there's like, you see that there's another guy kind of just appears out of nowhere, and he goes, "Captain, if you
Yeah.
if you could spare any more gold, I'd be happy to take it off your hands, Captain." You see, he's holding his hand out.
Guy who appears out of nowhere?
Who the fuck are you?
I go, what do you do?
And oh, I was badly injured in the last war. I'm a veteran, you see, and I can't work or do anything really. So I come here for, a nice warm meal and just trying to provide for myself and what remains of my family. Many of them were killed in the war, you understand. Many of us were hurt very badly. If you only had a few more pieces of gold to spare, that would actually help me get back on my feet, because then I think I could reopen my shop.
What was your shop?
I'm a hat maker.
Can I have a
You sure
perception
about
check
that?
on this guy or something?
Yeah, you're like, I'm gonna try and tell if he's lying.
Yeah.
All right, it's an opposed check, so it's his charisma versus your roll. Hold on a second. I'll tell you what you have to roll below.
Yeah.
You have to roll below a 16.
Oh,
Holy shit.
no, 32.
All right. You don't necessarily have to believe him, but you can't really tell if he's lying.
Okay, I'm extremely suspicious anyway, though.
Yeah, you can be suspicious without.
I said, what did you hurt?
And he goes, I was stabbed in the arm and the chest and one of my legs. If you can see it in the mornings, it hurts awful bad.
Well, show
You
me.
know,
I'm pretty
if you
good.
can-
I've been stabbed in the arm and the chest and the leg before.
he's like, look, and he's like limping
Ask him
around.
whose battalion he fought in. You know them all.
Yeah. Where
Yep.
were you? Were you in Terrasleen?
He goes, "Oh no, I never even made it to Tiersleen. I fought by the side of the king in the fight where he fell. I did what I could to help protect our king, but we just barely made it out of there alive. The orcs it was horrible. If only you and your elf friends were there to help at that fight, that would have, I think that would have swung the day."
Well, you know what? I have a job for you, so you can get back on your feet that way.
And he goes, okay, but I mean, I'm really not much good for work right now. All I'm really good for is hat making, and my
No,
shop is
I could put you on a desk at the prison.
at the prison. Oh, that's so damp there. It's really bad for my bones.
All right, get out of here. Go.
He goes, but I see that you're so generous. You and your friends are so generous. Could you just spare maybe 50 gold pieces?
Jesus Christ.
I'm sorry. What did you say?
A loan. Can you give me a loan maybe? I know you and your friends are very wealthy. Maybe Lady Downey could lend me 50 gold.
What's this guy's name?
Who are you?
Hold on a second. I'll tell you.
Sorry.
But a simple hat merchant that just needs 50 gold. Just 50 gold.
That's
He
a lot.
he says, my name is Tomes.
And you had a shop here in Cornith?
He goes, I used to, and then the orcs just burnt it down to the ground. It was horrible. I've been doing what I can to rebuild it, but it's times are hard. Supplies are difficult to come by, and nobody wants to buy a new hat. Well, I'm hoping that at the close of the year, maybe the celebrations, people will be more in a hat buying mood. I still have a good 10 days. I could make probably a dozen hats. I could pay you back double what you invest.
Listen, if you want a job, I'll give you a job. I'm not giving you 50 gold. I'm not buying into this whole hat thing. So
He says, he goes, and I thought that you were a hero. And he goes, you're no better than any of those stingy, wealthy people.
I go, anybody else want a gold piece? Anyone?
All right, you see some other people are like they look, but they're like cautious, like, is he joking or what? You see he
Right.
kind of just walk you see he walks away, and uh you do notice that he's not quite limping at all.
Okay. All right. All right. I am going to the Staff and Sky.
All right, so you're making way back to the Staff and Sky. I'll come back to you. All right, Sledge,
Yes.
you've had enough rest. It's 9 a.m.
Okay.
All right. Ember is still sleeping, and so is Harper.
I'm kind of observing the garden because I'm interested in like birds and bugs and just all the life that there is. So I'm kind
There,
of garden.
there are definitely a lot of birds around. There are no bugs up this high.
Okay.
In fact, in Cornith, there are very few pesky bugs. There are spiders and ants and maybe some dragonflies and butterflies, but there aren't like mosquitoes or flies or anything like that.
I try to peacefully stay still so that maybe a bird will land on me or something like that. I'm trying to be,
Okay.
I'm trying to learn how
He's
to.
totally Iron Gianting it.
I am
um okay, so you're standing there kind of peacefully waiting, kind of like absorbing nature. And of course, while you do this, you can't help but think of your mentor and friend, and wonder how he's doing back in the at the world tree. And you kind of you realize you actually kind of miss him too, you know.
that kind of like my first feeling.
Well, no, I mean, you've had feelings before. You laugh and 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 can joke, and you have feelings.
Right.
But it's just one of those things that you realize that you had a chance. You did say goodbye to him, but still kind of miss Brightwater a little bit.
See him
So
being
yeah, and you're thinking about him, and while you're thinking about him, something clicks in your head too, that like the whole point of you coming here and seeking out all of these people was to kind of figure out the riddle of the keys. And you realize that you've been kind of completely sidetracked from that.
That happens around us.
Well, it seems like
Morning after we've all slept.
not only that, but I mean, there have been some pretty demanding circumstances that,
Yeah.
sea holes aren't going anywhere, but, keep these guys alive and to protect the city
Mm-hmm.
kind of conducive to me getting my answers.
Yeah, but you do hear in your voice, like your inner voice isn't just your voice, it's kind of Eldon's voice too. Like, especially when you reflect, when you're out here kind of communing with nature, it reminds you of Eldon, because he was always talking about the importance of taking the time to pause and listen to nature and
Right.
allow nature to kind of flow through you. And you'd realize that there are birds landing on you too.
Oh, wonderful. Cool. Yeah, I'm kind of like in that state.
Mm-hmm.
I do want to find out about my keys, but like I do feel well about my choices so far, except for the knee thing. That was just a lucky roll.
All right. All right. Um, Ember, you wake up, and I guess you go to check on Sledge, and you go upstairs and you open up the door to the roof, and a bunch of birds take off from him. They were like perched on him, like he's a statue.
I'm like, whoa.
This is a beautiful space.
I'm like, yeah, I never really spent much time here. My sister did, but I don't think she enjoyed it.
Well, I can see how it could be a prison, but if left here by your own accord, it's beautiful.
And I say, yeah, the city is beautiful. I hope that they can rebuild. There are a lot of things at play right now that could get in the way of that.
I do have a question though.
What's that?
My keys or my keyholes.
What's the question?
Talk about this.
What?
At some point, can we please talk about that?
We can talk now, but I don't know.
We all need to be together. There are 5 keys,
Uh-huh.
and I can't help but be curious to know if your keys would work.
If they would fit in the locks?
Yes.
I'm like, do you know what they do? Is there any,
I
are there
have
any instructions or inscription or anything?
I could show you.
Okay.
Can I take my chest plate out? To
Well,
reveal-
remember, you have to take your whole chest plate off, which takes a few minutes, but you could do it. Yeah.
I'll do that. I'll do that.
All right.
All right. You see, he takes off some of his shoulder plates, and it's armor, but it's attached into his body.
Okay.
So it takes a minute for him to kind of like release everything. It's like a series of levers and buttons and switches that he has to kind of like
I've
push.
never seen anything like this before, right?
No. I mean, you've seen people like you and Samdal and others put armor on. It's kind of similar to that, but this is actually attached to his body. So
Right.
there's no straps.
I'm
Or
actually
buckle-
paying attention to how he works. Just like
Okay.
Side of it.
You see that under his metallic armor, you
Mhm.
see that his kind of shell is looks almost like tree bark, and you see that there are veins of like what look to be like vines or roots kind of growing through him, and there are parts that look like they're made of stone, like almost like bones that are
Mhm.
made out of stone or some other soft metals.
Wow.
And you can almost see like things pulsing through some of the veins too.
Okay.
So it's almost like his armor is like covering up like his skin.
Like a
So what's that?
like a turtle?
Like a turtle, or I guess even a person who puts armor on, if they put it on directly without any clothes on underneath.
Had no skin.
It's more turtley to me.
Yeah, he seems more vulnerable without his armor on for sure than
Okay.
like a typical person would be.
Okay. So,
All
so
right.
see the keyholes?
You see that you see that he takes all of his armor plating off, and you see eventually there is a kind of like a hatch that he
Mhm.
presses down, and it kind of like pops in and then slides down, and you see across his chest are 5 what appear to be keyholes.
And there's no symbol or inscription or anything on them?
Nope.
Okay. I put my glasses on and look at it. Like
Okay.
inspect.
Okay, so you put your glasses on. Okay, so you put your glasses on and you look at it, and you can see that there is definitely a complicated mechanism related to these keyholes, and you see that they will open a compartment in his chest,
Okay.
and there is definitely a magical aura coming from whatever is behind that compartment.
Okay. I'm like, hmm.
See,
I'm like, so there's a hidden compartment behind here. I'm detecting some magic too. Do I see any like, does it look like any, not necessarily a trap, but like, do they look like they have to go in a certain order, or do they all just need to be open? Like, do they look connected? Like, can I see that from looking in the keyholes?
That I'm gonna make you roll a perception check for,
Okay.
and it's only a +10 because it is incredibly complex. So you would have to get below whatever's is it wisdom is higher or your intelligence?
My intelligence.
What is it?
17. Green first. No. Damn, I wish I hadn't said green first because I did yellow first on my last roll. I rolled a 91.
Mm,
If
right.
I had done it the way I did the last one, I would have made it. Oh well. I'll have to look again sometime.
yeah, it defies your ability to kind of comprehend at this point.
Well, I say the mechanism looks extremely complex. I would need to study it because I think if we just put the keys in, we could break something or trigger a trap or hurt you. Like, we need to figure out how to unlock these locks.
How much-
Our keys would probably fit in the locks.
No, I don't want to just try it. I want to definitely research it, but I'm like, have you encountered Warforged before? Is that magic like part of who they are?
I have never. I'm like, it might be your essence in there. I mean, I don't really know the rest of you. It doesn't look.
I need to learn more about my kind.
I mean, I don't know if you want this out. Maybe it's better to be in, you know? I mean, I don't know what's in your head. Like, what's powering you? Is it this? Is it your brain? Do you have a heart?
I just am.
I'm like, yeah, I don't know either. I'm like, I would find out more about what you are before we go trying to unlock these locks, because we could unlock them. Our keys would turn the locks, but I don't know what would happen.
Thank you.
Like, thank you. That was the most interesting thing I've seen that didn't try to kill me in a time.
Apply my armor and shit.
All right.
Okay. So you put everything, you start getting your gear back on. Again, remember, like taking it all off takes about a half an hour. Putting it back on takes about a half an hour.
If I help
So-
him, does it go faster?
It'll go a little bit faster, but not by much. I mean, it's kind of a one-man job.
All right.
It's
So I'm
like
gonna go.
you could stand there and hand him the next piece, and I guess it would go slightly faster. But
That's
it's like
a
it's like getting somebody dressed. Like, you know,
All right,
it's-
I'm gonna go. Well, it depends on the somebody. It can be a lot faster if you help. I'm gonna go get Harper and eat something and come down when you're done.
Put you downstairs. Thank you.
Okay.
all right. So you do that. We'll just fast forward.
You know,
He
I'll
gets
say,
his-
oh, one more thing. I say, Leopold has a book that would probably have information about your kind that can tell us more about you. And I said, so I think we should talk to him.
Will we be seeing him?
Yes, most definitely. He's the person that we're going to talk to about the portal we saw.
Wonderful. Thank you.
All right. I go downstairs.
All right. So you go downstairs, get some breakfast together. Harper is actually already awake and bathed and dressed.
Okay.
So, and then you see that you guys have a light breakfast. Harper,
While we're eating breakfast, I'm telling her like my concerns about these priests of Pelor. And I'm like, I think we need to. They're going to be trying to undercut us. I'm like, they feel like the pantry is hurting the city because people are going to the pantry who don't want to, and instead of trying to get work, they're just dependent on the help they're getting. I'm worried about Elsha. I'm like, I think we need to start spreading the true rumor about how the pantry was poisoned during the, that Corellorithian's pantry was poisoned during the battle, right after the battle with the master, and we asked the priests of Pelor to help, and they refused. I'm like, if they are going to be doing like what's it called? If they're going to be playing mind games with the citizens of the city, I'm like, I think we need to not just let them run amok. People need to have opinions about them too.
and she goes, I agree, but don't you think that it's going to be a problem if people think that the pantry was poisoned? Wouldn't that put people off? They wouldn't want to eat there anymore.
I'm like, well, then maybe we don't say poison because we didn't tell them what was wrong. We just said we needed them to bless it and they refused to do it.
It was cursed. It wasn't poison, it was just cursed
Yeah.
to stop working.
We'll just say like somebody, I don't know. I just think we needed them to bless it and they wouldn't help. And I'm like, the only thing is, like I don't want them to like the Corellirithian and the elves really helped save the city and save our asses in these battles. And I think that needs to be more known, like the other religions and faiths. Like we need Burke telling those stories, and we need to tell the stories, and we need to get the story out there about how they were asked to provide a simple blessing and they wouldn't do it.
She said, well, didn't Burke say he was going to be here in like a week? I mean, it's already been 2 days. He'll be here by the week's end.
And I'm like, yeah, but I think in the meantime, a little like counter campaign couldn't hurt.
He goes, She goes,
I'm like, the people, you're closer to them than I am because I'm gone so much. And I'm like, but I know, try to use your network.
She goes,
some truth about them needs to be filtering through the city.
She goes, okay. And I'll see if I can find out something else about this other guy, this stranger.
And be careful about who you tell because I see some, like they're recruiting the young people to work in their kitchens. And I know they look terrified, but that doesn't mean that they wouldn't sell someone out to save their own bacon. So I know a lot of your network is other kids. Be careful.
She goes, yeah, let me look into that one too. All right. Sledge comes downstairs. You guys are all ready to go, and you kind of go to the Staff and Sky. Harper
Wasn't your
doesn't
guy
go.
supposed to be you this morning?
What?
Who?
Her new guy.
No. Remember, he said, "Don't wake me up. I'm gonna be sleeping in because I'm gonna be up all night."
And she said, I'll see you at
You wake
night.
up when I get you. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you could go to the
And
singing.
he said, I'm at the singing sword.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right. Let's go get him. Okay. I remembered you saying meet at the house, but that's fine.
Well, then I
Yeah.
decided I wanted to sleep in too.
Okay.
Yeah. You're thinking of Reza,
Yeah.
Leonardo Reza. Okay. So do you go and get him, or are you gonna let him
Yeah.
do his thing and then you're just gonna go to
I'm
the
gonna
tower?
check in with him on the way there and find out what his thing is that he's gonna be doing.
Okay. All right.
Because he
So
has the singing sword on the way there, right?
no, not exactly. The singing sword is not far. It's
The
here.
singing sword is up here.
Oh no,
and
I'm
I
sorry.
have to go down. Yeah, the singing sword is up here, and I have to go down and all the way across to the tower.
Oh, you're going to the tower.
I'm not in the garden. I'm in the. I thought I was gonna go.
No. I thought you were gonna go like this way, like the way you guys came, and like down the ramp, like just cut across here, and then down this ramp is the fastest way to get to the tower.
Well, I can just go to the singing sword and then go down the stairs and over.
Yeah, the singing sword is over here.
Yeah.
That's it right there.
You go down these big stairs with these two towers and go to the singing sword and then go over to the.
Yep, you can do that. Okay. So Kate.
Yes. I'm writing hours.
Yes. So you have finally finished praying and okay. And by this time it's almost midday.
Okay.
Okay. Samdal is there. You see the Samdal has just arrived and Leopold has come to get you.
Okay.
And he said Samdal is here.
Excellent. I go down and I meet Samdal. And
Okay.
I go, hey, we need to go check on Mud.
Why? What's going on?
Leopold said last night, since he's talked to us, he's been locked in his room doing nothing but staring at the orb.
What's he looking for?
I don't know, the books, more information. It's mud. He could be looking for anything. But that much usage of the orb is concerning.
All right. Let's do that first.
All right. While we're walking, I asked Leopold if he found anything regarding the portal in the Book of Knowledge.
Because there's so much information in the Book of Knowledge about portals. I think I need to be more specific. I mean, it's endless amounts of information.
Okay.
He goes, I don't even really know where to begin. I think I need more details.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
Take him to the
I
portal.
mean, do you have any idea, like, did somebody summon the portal? Was it a spell that was cast?
I described the Eldon to him, and the fact that he could turn into smoke, that while I was in that Simon talking to Samdal while he was a raven, he seemed to understand it because he was able to evade me, and when Simon was warning Samdal.
So he can turn to smoke, and he understood when Simon spoke to you in Raven.
Correct.
He goes, that sounds pretty specific. I'll start, maybe if I start doing that. He goes, did he was just living up there by himself? Like it
was
creep?
underground. There were cages and people that they seemed to be questioning, torturing, and then eating.
Wait,
But
he ate human flesh?
Yes.
And he goes, wow, this guy sounds more and more dangerous all the time.
Yes.
And he says, well, I'll see what I can find out.
Okay. And he alluded that he wasn't from anywhere around here. And when we asked him if he was from Hearth, he said he didn't even know where that was.
Interesting.
He's trouble though.
He says, it's too bad. Maybe somebody around the town knows something about him. Maybe if we ask this girl that you saved.
She was pretty shaken up, and I'd asked her as much as I could last night. I said he is working with other associates, but we did tend to kill them when we were there. So
he goes, you killed them all?
Well, there were only 3 of them.
He goes, how did you even find this guy?
Simon hitched a ride with one of his henchmen that led us directly to his underground lair.
But I mean, how did you know he had henchmen?
No, that's a long story.
But you're asking too many questions, Leopold.
He goes, I'm sorry. He goes, well, let me see what I can find out. I have to, if I have more details, the chances are better that I can find the answer in the book.
I said, we're gonna check on Mud right now, and then we'll be ready when I said, hopefully Ember is on her way here. Once she gets here, we can all head up together.
Okay. All right. You see, by this point, Joe, you also see that there are a lot of like other wizards and other magic users kind of wandering around through the building. You see some of them are practicing magic in one room. It's like the Tower of Staff and Sky is bustling with activity.
Good.
There's a lot of like weird noises, and you hear like and woo, and you hear oh, excellent trick, yay! And you hear like people clapping from one room.
I look at Leopold. I said, you have outlawed fireball, right?
He goes, yes, of course. Within the walls of the tower, yes.
Okay.
And he goes, there are no dangerous spells here. Mainly, these acolytes are only learning cantrips at this point.
Understood.
And he goes, they're very, very young. And he goes, anyway, let me go. Ember and Sledge, you guys go to the Singing Sword. After a few minutes of inquiring, you finally get one of the barmaids to tell you where Leonardo Reza's room is. You get the sense that the barmaid has, you know, she's got like a suspicious eye towards you, especially Ember, when you start asking where Leonardo Reza is staying. And you get the distinct impression that she might be a little bit jealous.
That's hilarious.
Oh, that's funny.
Then
I do nothing
after
to address that.
after several minutes of banging on his door, you hear him from the other side. Go away! I am sleeping.
I open the door. I
Okay.
unlock and open the door.
All right. You open up the door and you see that he's laying in bed naked, but he's covered with sheets. And he's like, "Oh, it's you." He goes, "Sorry, Captain, I'm just woke up and I've got one hell of a hangover."
How did that happen?
He goes, "Oh, I drank a lot last night. You gave me 50 gold and I started, you know, doing my thing, and one thing led to another, and I just was having a great time." He goes, "What time is it anyway?"
And I'm like, late.
Oh, he goes, "Oh, wait, here." You see, he picks up a bottle and he goes, "It's empty." He goes, "I need,"
Are
he
you
goes,
going to be any kind of useful at all? I'm trying to decide right now looking at you.
he
The
goes,
50 gold you get in your pocket and you're already a waste of space?
and he goes, "Give me a break. I've just spent so much time, out at sea. We were on that boat for a week. I mean, everybody
A
gets a
week?
chance to
I'm like,
cut loose."
do you know how long I was at sea before that?
And he goes, "Well, not
I'm
too
like, have
long."
you heard stories about me? They're all true. And I'm like, you should just stop now.
He says, "Sorry, Captain. Just give me a couple hours. I just I gotta get myself together, get something to eat. Once I eat something, you know what I need? Bacon." And he goes, "I need about a half a pound of bacon. Oh my God. And maybe some toast." And he
And I'm like,
goes, he goes, "And then I gotta find this guy because he owes me some more money."
like, I don't have time for this. And I'm like, just check in with Bert. You can be a ship hand. I just turn out. And
He goes, wait, what can I do? Where do you want me to go?"
I'm like, I thought you might actually be useful, but I don't know. I'm like, I have to go. I have somewhere to be.
And he goes, "Okay, just give me a minute to get dressed. I'll come with you."
All right. I'm like, you have a minute.
He goes, "Are you just gonna stand there?"
No, I'm already walking out.
Okay.
I'm in the hall by now.
All right.
I was not like, I wasn't faking leaving. I was leaving.
Okay. So you see, after about 5 minutes, do you wait a minute, or do you and then leave, or do you wait for the 5 minutes?
Um, Actually, I wait a minute and then I tell the bartender to tell him to go to the Tower of the Staff and Sky. And I leave after a minute.
Okay. All right. So you and Sledge go to the Tower of Staff and Sky.
Yeah.
All right. On your way there, you see that you hear him calling from the street behind you. And he's like, "Captain,
Is he
Captain!"
running?
Yeah, he's running
Good. I
to
slow
catch up.
down, but I don't stop.
All right. Uh, you're currently like walking through like the market area towards like where the bank is.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And you see that there's shops and stuff that are open and the streets are pretty bustling. You see he's walking along with you and he's like, "I said I would just be a minute. You couldn't wait?"
I'm like, I waited a minute.
And he goes, "Hey, hey, big guy, help me out here, will you?"
What? To tell you
He's
to
talking to and he goes, "You know what it's like. You know, men have needs. We just have to sometimes cut loose, right?"
I just stare at him.
He goes, "Well, I can see where you stand on that issue." All right. He goes, "So where are we going?" And you see, as you notice that as he's walking along, you see all of a sudden there, like, as you guys are walking past one of the kind of like a fruit market, you see all of a sudden he has an apple in his hand.
Uh, I'm like, people are going to be really angry with you if they catch you stealing. They're all broke.
He goes, "This guy seems to be doing okay."
I don't say anything. I don't object to stealing, so I'm not gonna
He goes, "So
Side-eye him.
after we
getting
after
caught.
we after we split up last night, how many people did you kill?"
I didn't kill anyone. Shut up. And I'm like, there are people everywhere.
And he
Like,
goes, "Well, it seems like that's your fallback."
and I'm like, you don't understand. And I was like, that. I'm like, that was a very personal grudge.
And he goes, "Oh, so wait, you knew those guys?"
No, but
He goes, "You're right. I don't understand."
and I'm like, but and I'm like, mongrel men fought against us in the war against the Tarask and the Mad Mage. And I'm like, and they killed a very close friend of ours.
He goes, "Huh. Yeah. Interesting opinion, though. Coming from the people who convinced the entire realm that goblins were good."
And I'm like, they are good. They helped us.
Hmm.
And I'm like, we killed most of the bad ones. I just laugh and shrug.
And he goes, "Oh, okay. So that mongrel man that you killed several times over,
And I'm like,
he was definitely one of the bad ones, even though you don't know him."
and I'm like, know what they're doing in our city? Do you remember who he was working for?
Why we were there in the
He goes, "Yeah." He
You
goes,
remember what was going on in that basement?
he goes, "Look, I'm just still taking it all in. It got really intense, really fast."
You're not very smart, are you?
And he goes,
Just keep going.
he goes, I think I'm the actual opposite of stupid."
How long have you known this man?
And I'm like, not long.
All right, so you make it to the Tower of Staff and Sky, and you guys are all kind of reunited again.
Reunited and it feels so good.
All right,
You done?
yeah.
We're supposed to say that one line.
So you go to see Mud, and you see that Mud's room is locked, and he doesn't seem to be answering the door.
Is it magically locked or just locked?
After inspecting it with the glasses, Ember just tells you it's just normal locked.
I use my key then.
Okay. You unlock the door, and you see Damodar is there, and you see he's kind of like laying on the floor, and um, and he's asleep. Damodar is, and you see Mud is sitting on the floor holding the orb, and he's just kind of staring at it. And you've seen this look on his face several times. I mean, you're very familiar with it.
Okay.
Talk to Damodar. Maybe you can, before we disturb him.
Yeah, I speak to Damodar in dragon speak, dragon kind, whatever.
He
I
just
go,
speaks our language.
I know, but I'm just trying to be like, so I just speak in common then. I am like, hey Damodar.
All right, you see Damodar opens one eye. You see he goes,
How long has he been?
Kind of stretches. He kind of stretches. You can't help but think he looks kind of like a big dog.
Okay. It's like, how long has he been in this trance?
And he says, he goes, seems like it may be almost 12 hours at this point.
What is he looking for?
He said he needed answers. He was looking for, first he was looking for the books, but that eluded him. And then he said that there was something else that he must find.
I said 12 hours is a long time for him to be in this trance.
He goes, is it? 12 hours doesn't seem too long.
Has
I
he
say-
ever been in a trance for that long before?
He says, yes, once or twice.
I say,
He says
Are you-
sometimes he finds things that are quite useful, especially now he has no fear that someone else may be watching him.
I say, we need to speak with him though. Are you able to reach him while he's in this trance?
He goes, I think so. One moment. You see, he kind of like reaches out and he puts like one paw, and then you see one giant claw kind of come out, and you see he puts one claw kind of on the orb, and you see he's like, and then all of a sudden both of them are like the orb stops glowing. You see both of them are there.
Okay.
You see Mud's like, he goes, oh. He goes, oh. How long was I gone?
12 hours.
He goes,
according to Amadar.
he goes, oh, I'm so hungry.
I was like, I have rations on me.
And he says, oh,
Well, can have someone
he
bring.
goes 12 hours. He goes, oh no. I was supposed to see Rosie last night.
What were you trying to find for 12 hours?
And he goes, I was trying to find answers. He goes, there's so much happening right now.
Say, we have a new puzzle for you. You're interested in going and look at something with Leopold?
He says, I should really just find Rosie and apologize for not meeting her last night. And he goes, is it something important?
Before we get to that, because I'm guessing he's not going to come with us. What are you finding? And the answers, obviously, that's a kind of a non-answer though. What are you finding that's keeping you in for so long? What are you doing?
He says, well, I don't know if I should really say. I was looking into the past and into the future, actually. And there are things that are happening like everywhere, all over the realm. And he goes, I can tell you this. There's something that is at work right now all over the realm, and actually in this world and other realms as well. There's something that's going on that's causing it's hard to explain. He goes, old Mud came to me and he explained it to me. There's a place that's between places. It's called the astral plane. And
We know it.
it's where the Githyanki are from.
Right.
Right.
He goes, but by traveling through the astral plane, you can go to other places. But there are walls between those places sometimes.
Unless there's a giant portal underground.
And he says, yes, sometimes there are portals, like the gateway that we took to Avernus. And he goes, sometimes these portals are controlled because they've been opened on purpose. Sometimes the portals open by accident. And that's because there's something that's happening to weaken what's called the penumbra, the barriers between worlds.
What kind of things weaken the penumbra?
He goes, that's what I'm hoping to find the answer to. But right now, all over our realm, there are things happening that are, there's a weakening of the penumbra. And he goes, and so these gateways are opening. And there was one that was in your forest, and that's where that demon bear came from.
I say there's one here.
And he said it opened a portal to the abyss itself.
Wow.
I say there's one here. We
There's
found
one.
it last night.
And someone
says-
came through it. Something came through it.
Something came through it. Was it like the same thing, like the demon bear?
No, it's a
No.
person who can turn into smoke and understand Raven speak.
Yeah. A man of some kind. Very
Who
powerful.
now, who now likes it here and doesn't want to leave.
And he says, he goes, yes. So that's what I was trying to study. He goes, old me, well, me, maybe future me, but he's from the past. He told me a lot of different things that might happen. Unless we figure out what's causing it.
Well,
He goes, right now, it looks like it's just happening, like by accident, like kind of like a tornado or a thunderstorm. Sometimes there's storms that cause ripples, but this is different.
Well, do you
seems
think
like-
there's something in the astral plane that's happening that's causing it and not something here that's causing it?
He goes, I don't know. That's what I was trying to find out, where it was originating from. What's causing these disruption?
Well, and I know
Say-
we're coming to the end of some big lunar cycle that has a lot of religious implication. Does that have anything to do with it?
He says it could be. At this point I don't know.
How long ago was the last one? Is it annual or is it like a part of some cycle that ends like every 100 or so years or something crazy like that? I don't really keep track of these things, so I don't know.
What? You mean the last celebration?
Yeah,
No, this is an annual celebration.
this is an annual one.
Yeah, but it hasn't happened because there's been war and turmoil. So there's been like people would celebrate, they'd have like it's like the difference between when we had Thanksgiving during the pandemic and normal Thanksgiving.
Is it kind of like a combo, like a Thanksgiving, New Year's Day kind of festivity type of
Yep.
holiday? Yeah.
Yeah, it is also got some religious implications too, because again, the gods are all listening at year end, and it's also a time like gods that like to have offerings because it's harvest time,
Mhm.
and it's also the end of the calendar year. It's the end of the 13th month.
Okay.
I say, well, we're about to head out with Leopold to check out the portal. Because I want Leopold to, we need to understand where it's from so we have more of an understanding of how to hopefully deal with this person.
He says, he goes, I've already broken one promise to Rosie, and
I see that.
I promised her no adventuring.
I say that's fine.
He goes, I'm sorry, Samdel. I know you said it's better not be because of a woman, but it is.
I say, do you think the stolen books have anything to do with this breaking down of the planes?
He says, I don't see how they could be connected at all.
Well, this guy who we're looking for,
He
he's
go-
basically running a thieving guild in the city right now.
He's running a thieving guild?
Kinda. He's just getting people together and they're working towards robbing everyone eventually.
So he goes, yeah, this is definitely sounds like bad news. He goes, well, especially now, this time of the year, everyone is coming to Cornith. He goes, actually, there is one of the books that may be relevant to what's going on, the weakening of the penumbra. And he goes, it's Morden Canaan's Book of Foes, especially since one of the portals led to the abyss. That book specifically details the blood wars. And he goes, one easy way to answer, one easy thing to do would be go back to Avernus, since we have a gateway that leads there.
No,
Oh.
no, none of us.
Why
none of us-
would we go back to Avernus? Are you crazy? I'm like,
We all
sure,
hated
you
it
get
here.
home with your girlfriend and tell us it would be easy to go back to Avernus.
He says, it was just a suggestion.
I said, why don't you go find your girlfriend and stop making stupid suggestions?
Kane, do you feel like that would be something Mud would suggest?
No.
Probably not, but I mean,
Oh, okay.
that's okay. It's okay.
He hated it too.
Oh yeah.
None of us liked it there. None of us.
I mean, to me, it felt like even when you were playing him, Mud was the king of outside of the box thinking. So
Yeah, that's
Wow.
outside, that's outside of like everything thinking.
yeah.
Maybe if you never,
Not outside of staying alive, though.
it would have made more sense if Sledge suggested it, not somebody who's actually been there.
Yeah. All right.
I do say, do you think that Bell would have enough power if Bell were to try to break through to our plane to somehow come after us to cause some of this?
He says, not unless someone here intentionally summoned him.
But they would need to know his name, wouldn't they?
His true name.
Right.
Right.
He goes,
Not coming here. He knows we know.
wait, he goes, wait, none of you have said his name, have you?
No.
No.
He's not coming here, though. He knows we know his name. I don't think this is him. I really don't.
Well, except that he could have eventually, my thought was if he can break through and send things through, if we end up dead, he'll end up happy anyway.
Yeah.
So not necessarily he himself would come, but causing us strife would not be outside of his wheelhouse. So
he says, well, your portal was the one in the woods, in the Northwoods, was definitely not to Avernus. It was to the abyss itself.
right. So that creature was from the abyss. I say this one is not to Avernus either. I don't believe this person is from Avernus.
So some other
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I originally thought that he could possibly be from the astral plane, but that's why I want Leopold to take a look at it.
And he says, well, I'll meet you back here at supper time. We can maybe talk then.
All right. Get some flowers and some chocolate for your girlfriend. Or a nice shiny rock.
Ooh, rock.
Rock.
All right. You see that as you guys are leaving, you are walking out of the Tower of the Staff and Sky, and you see Cecilia's walking towards the Tower of the Staff and Sky, along with three City Watch.
What's wrong?
All right. She says, thank the gods I've found you.
I meant to say something to Leopold before we left about asking about finding out about
He's
Warforged.
with us.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, he's with you.
all right. But I meant while we
Yeah.
were building I went to do that before we started to sleep.
He always
Okay,
has
so
so you're okay to ask.
Yeah, I guess we're
so
just
you want him to find out more about Warforged?
I'm curious what makes them work.
All right. He says, "Yeah, I'll do my best."
Or if there's
That's
I can read.
and he says, "Not this book."
Oh.
He says, "But I'll do what I can to learn more about Warforged."
Thank you, wizard.
He goes,
All right.
not quite a wizard yet. But anyway, so you guys rejoin the group. You kind of like have this conversation on the way out while Cecilia is talking to Sandal. All right. She says, "Captain, there's been a horrible crime committed." She goes, and City Watch were victims as well.
Oh. No.
She says, there was I understand that last night you asked some of the guards from the castle to escort a young lady to her home.
Oh no.
Yes.
She goes, they were all found dead inside her home.
Anybody else there?
No. The whole family was ripped to shreds, like some kind of animal attacked them.
Oh, so everyone plus the guards were killed.
Yes.
Oh, God. We were trying to protect her because she knew something about this stranger, this Eldon Goonberry or whatever his name is.
Cromwell.
Yeah, same thing.
I think Goonberry is more appropriate.
Goonberry.
I'd say this guy's trouble, and we found this woman in a cell in his basement, and we wanted her to go to the garden for protection, and I completely forgot when I woke up this morning that no one was there. So we got to find this guy.
So she goes, his name is Eldon. You said his name is Eldon Cromwell?
Yeah.
Where's Simon?
Simon's with you.
Okay.
We're going back to where he was staying and where the girl was captured right now. It's right next to that creepy old house on the hill next to the castle. That was his home base, and we're going back there to investigate some more.
She says, yes, about that. She goes, there's been a fire.
I say that doesn't mean that the chamber underneath has been affected.
She goes, well, given its location, there's nothing that the City Watch could do to put the fire out. It was too difficult to get buckets of water up the hill in time. The fire's still blazing.
This son of a bitch. How are we gonna find him?
Wait, he set the house on fire?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which means that it probably collapsed on everything then too, so.
Yep.
Damn it.
She says once the fire is burnt out, we could search for the tunnels, I suppose.
There had to be another way in.
Not for someone who can turn into smoke.
Yeah, no, I mean he would have been able to get back in the house and down there. We didn't completely bar the way in.
No.
Oh, but I'm saying, but he hasn't always lived there. Someone lived there before him. Do you not have a town library that might have like the blueprints of this building?
No. We were just at it. Everything was destroyed in the war.
Well, we could see
Right.
we could see if there's anything escaping. If there's still a fire, then creatures escape.
She says,
Another way in.
"Oh," goes. Also, I had to. I forgot. I almost forgot. Penn wants to see you. She said. She said that the mouse is squealing.
Oh, good.
Okay. Um, Kate, can you draw a sketch of what this guy looks like so we can get some wanted posters out?
Yes.
All right, do that.
Well, I mean, she can only draw one at a time. I mean, how many is she gonna draw? It's
Well,
not
she
like she's
draw
gonna
one
go
and then
to-
they take it somewhere else and get it photocopied. Put it on the printing press.
Leopold says, actually,
You
if
could
you draw draw one, I could have my wizards do a replicate spell on the parchment.
That would be awesome.
Wonderful. Yeah, yeah, please. I suppose we should go to the prison now, talk to Penn.
I say, I'll meet you at the prison. I want to check out the house on the hill and see if there's anything Simon and I might be able to do.
Okay, sounds good. Don't get crazy though.
Did you want assistance in case you need to move something big?
No, I actually need small.
As you would.
She's gonna
Alright.
termite her way in.
All right. Amber, are you gonna go with Samdal?
Yeah.
And Sledge, you're gonna go with Samdal as well? Okay. Harper is going to she's doing her thing, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't think she came with us because we talked. at the
Right.
house.
Right. Okay. So but Reza is still with you too.
So while we're walking, I'm like, so besides celebrating a little last night, I'm like, did you learn anything about it? Anyone in the city or anything that's going on?
And he goes, well, I made some new connections. You know, these things take time.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. And he goes, but I do think that there is definitely somebody who's already trying to start up a thieves guild. No
Right.
doubt about it.
And I say, how successful have they been? Can you tell?
And he says, "Oh, they've already begun to do some things." And he goes, "One of the things that they're doing is that there is a rumor that they are planning a very big job. Something that's going to pay off very big."
And I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, you know,
And he says, and there's also another rumor that there is that as people are rebuilding and businesses are starting back up, the Thieves Guild is offering something called a protection fee. Basically, protecting you from them.
and I'm like, do you know any of the businesses that have been offered this fee?
And he goes, "I don't, but I could ask around."
I'm like, I want to find out. I'm like, what's the sentiment of the city like about the watch? Do they feel like they need to pay this fee?
And he says, he goes, most people have great respect for the watch, except for the criminals.
Oh,
The
sounds
criminals
about right.
know that they're vastly understaffed and stretched thin. And
Okay.
now there's a rumor going around that somebody is actually hiring the criminals to work in the prison. Which is the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Don't
All
you-
right. I turn around and glare at him.
He goes, unless it was your idea, then it's genius. Put those guys to work. Keep them close. That's what I say, so that you can keep a better eye on them.
Yes, that was my thought. Not to
Genius.
mention that if they die in a battle, it's not so heartbreaking.
And he goes, oh, I get it. Like cannon fodder.
Kinda. But don't tell them that,
And he goes, no, you have my word.
because I'd rip your arm off if you did.
Understood.
And beat you to death with it.
Literally, not figuratively.
All right. As you guys are walking past, you can see that there is a huge plume of black smoke rising from the place where the house on the hill is.
This guy's
You
really
obviously
pissing
have
me
to
off.
you obviously have to walk past it on your way to the tower. So
Mhm.
Right.
I'm like, you know what? I need to, after we go to the tower, I need to stop in and see Lord Ethor. I know we made some like loose arrangements to move some of our assets, and we need to confirm those.
Okay. Would you rather do that alone?
Not with this guy.
Not with
with,
Ethor?
No, not with Reza.
Reza.
Oh.
I can go with you.
No, I mean, I'll come with you. I wouldn't rather do it alone. I'll come with you to the tower if you want to go after.
Yeah, but what are we gonna do with
And
Reza?
then-
That's what I was asking.
Well, no, I want him to go find out which businesses are paying the thieves.
Okay. All right. Let's keep
All right.
heading to the.
And
Where is
like
it?
All right.
find a little more information about like what you started with, and check in with Bert. I need to know if he needs anything and if he's running into any trouble, and then report back to me later.
All right.
Before you get drunk.
Was it one now?
So Kate,
Yes.
so you go directly to the house on the hill, and you see that there are city watch that are standing like all around, and like people are standing at the bottom of the hill looking at this massive bonfire that is this house. And you
Okay.
see that it's completely engulfed in flames. There is definitely not there is definitely something intentional about this fire.
Are they normal
This was
flames?
this was not like, oh, a lightning strike struck this house and it
No,
caught
I
on
know.
fire. It's
Yeah,
like
no,
it's
I
like
get it. It does it seem like normal fire?
it is. It looks like it's normal fire.
Okay. I want to scout around. Look at the thing again.
To look at what? I'm sorry.
Oh, I don't have
Want me
the,
to zoom in?
no, I didn't have the menu part up. I was looking at you guys. There we go. So I want to cast summon animal rats.
Okay. Where are you in relationship? So right now, like I said, you like were walking past like the base of the hill here.
Yeah.
So
I'm
you're
gonna be at the kind of behind those houses. Would it be too hot behind those houses?
behind these houses?
The ones
Oh,
to the
no.
right?
These houses?
Yes.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't be too hot.
Okay. So I'm gonna stand behind those houses and cast summon animals.
Okay. Okay. You see some rats do respond to your call.
Okay. I cast speak with animals
Okay.
and animal friendship.
All right.
Um,
Hold on
and
a second. Tell you. 5 rats answer your call.
okay. And I bend down and I'm like, hello, friends.
All right. You see they look at you and they say, "Hello."
The big house that's on fire. Do you know another way into there? Are there any underground passages that you've snuck through to get down there?
All right. They go. They go. No. Rats stay away. Rats no like that place. Bad thing happens to rats who go there. Rats go in, no rats come out.
Is there a way in?
Rats find ways, always, but no rats go.
Can you show me the
No rats go anymore.
Can you show me the way without going?
It's like, no burning. Rats can't do burning.
So you have to go through the fire in order to get in there.
Yes.
Okay. Do you know any houses around where groups of bad men have been gathering?
Bad men always. All men bad to rats.
These are really bad men.
And he says, rats know all bad men. Like, rats know evil places, all dark places.
Can you show me the ones you know?
Yes, we show.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
but
tell
he says danger for rats at daytime.
Okay. I say I will meet you back here at night.
Okay.
All right.
You
And
see they kind of like,
I give him some like crackers or some bread I have on me.
okay. All right. So they kind of disperse.
All right. So I go
They go like running up the hill and hide and disappear in bushes.
Yep. I go to the prison.
All right. So you're gonna go to the prison as well. All right.
Mhm.
So actually, are you gonna just walk there or are you gonna fly there? Because if you fly there, you can get there at the same time as them.
Oh, no, I'm just gonna walk there.
Okay. All right. So you guys get to the prison. All right. And you see that the guards are there. You see
Actually,
that there are.
I will fly there, Keith.
Okay. All right. Or you could send Simon and flip places with him too.
Yeah, I'll do that because I don't want to waste a change.
Okay. So you send Simon up there and you flip places with him, which means Simon's not going to be with you for this conversation.
That's fine.
But that's okay. Okay. So you get to the prison. You walk across the bridge and you go in and you see that there are actually quite a few more guards on duty here now. Which also, and there are in Samdal, you notice that there are quite a lot of new faces here. And you see that there are guards that are training in the common area. Do you remember how this prison is like, this tower is like one big kind of like winding kind of ramp that goes around?
Yeah.
It's like a giant version of the Century Mall. It's like the prison version.
Yeah.
All right. So you see that you kind of start to go, you start to go up. The guards take you to the what Penn has referred to as the interrogation chamber.
Which is what in reality?
It's it was a storage room, but but you said it's been cleared out, and there's like barrels and stuff that are like out in on the kind of catwalk, and there's crates and barrels and stuff like that. But you see that the room is kind of locked up tight though, and you see that you see that it's there's like a barred gate and a big heavy reinforced door. By the way, Kate has rejoined you guys now.
Okay.
Okay. So you guys are all together. You see, Leonardo comments, he goes, "This is the nicest prison I've ever been
Didn't
in."
we send him on his way?
No.
Yeah,
Oh, I thought I said like go ahead and find out about who's.
Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't know that you wanted him to do it right now.
I mean,
That's fine. He can go.
yeah,
there's
Yeah,
no reason for him to, there's no logical reason for him to go with us.
no.
Okay.
We can go on and do that. Talk to vendors and check with Bert, and then I gave him like instructions, and that was like,
I thought you were going to check with Bert.
no, I was telling him to do that.
Oh, okay, okay.
She's gonna check with Ethel after this.
All right,
Ethor after
gotcha.
we were done at the
Gotcha.
prison.
Okay. By the way, Cecilia did not go with you to the prison.
Okay.
Okay. So, so you see that there's two guards kind of standing outside. You see that they both look very kind of like they look worried.
Okay.
Like how you're like, what's
You see that you walk up and they're like, "Captain?"
Yeah.
They're like, the Master of Keys is inside interrogating the prisoner. She has asked that she not be disturbed by anyone except for you and your friends.
Okay. Thank you.
She's been asking for you.
All right.
All right.
We go
He's
in.
like, all right. He's like, let me get the door for you, sir. And he like unlocks it. And then you see he knocks on the door. He's like, doom, 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 doom. And he goes, Captain is here. He's coming inside. All right, you see they unlock the door.
She must have thrown a dagger at their heads.
That
All right.
the room is very, very dark. And you see Andre Lemire he's got a collar on his neck, and there's chains that are chained to the floor, and there's chains that are chained to the ceiling.
How did she learn all this shit?
And you see, so it's like so that he can't actually sit down. He's got to like stand in one spot in the middle of the room.
He's standing with that knee.
Yep.
Wow. Okay.
You see that he's bare chested. He's got his pants and shoes on, but you see his pants are all cut up. And you see he's got all these little kind of tiny cuts all over his chest and back and his face.
I would say I felt bad for him, but I don't.
You see that he's bleeding, but he's not like bleeding like gushing blood. He's just got like all these little drips of blood. And you realize that the cuts appear to be from claw marks.
Oh wow.
Dang, imagine if you had 100 of them. He's on fire right now.
You see Andre goes, Chantal, help me. He goes, this demon is killing me. All right, and you see Penn's eyes, kind of green eyes, kind of appear in the corner, and you hear a purring noise here.
I say, Sledge, Big Pen, this is our friend.
All
Okay.
right. You see a cat, a bipedal cat walks out. And you see she's wearing like kind of red robes, and she just kind of walks up to you,
Aren't
and
you?
she goes, you see, she says, a pleasure to meet you.
I extend my hand.
All right.
Should
You
say my
see she-
finger.
Yeah, she takes your finger. All right.
Okay, what'd you find out?
She goes, close the door. Or you see the guards like slam the door shut. All right. She goes, I could tell you, but I think he should be the one to tell you. And he goes, you don't understand. I'm a dead man anyway.
Well, then you won't.
Okay, tell me then.
And he goes, he goes, I need assurances from you. As an old friend, an old companion, I just want to leave this city forever and never look back. And I want an escort out of the city. You don't understand. And he goes, he goes, Cromwell will rip me to shreds.
Oh, I think we understand.
Okay. You got a deal.
He says,
Still-
I'll tell you everything if you if you just promise to let me go and escort me at least as far as the river. If you can even get me safely back, you have a ship, lady. I know you do. Maybe you could transport me back to uh I'm sorry, I'm trying to remember the
Oregon?
Calorgan, thank you.
I say, we'll talk about that later. Just tell me, what are we dealing with here?
And he says, he goes, look, they came to me. They asked me for my help. He goes, I met an old woman. Her name is Agra. She's, I don't know, she's some kind of witch. She's a fortune teller or something.
She's a bit more than that.
You know Agra?
I do. She's the queen of the underworld.
How do
What?
you know?
I wrote it down.
From when?
Thought that was I mean, I didn't make it up, so you told me at some point. I don't know if it was my mentor, Eldon, that told me, or what.
No, that's I'm sorry. If I used that name before, I don't remember.
You might have told me. Maybe I just wrote it down as a memory. So
Yeah, I'm sorry. I can give her a new name if this I don't
She's not the queen of the underworld, is what he's saying.
yeah.
oh, is that it's Ugara maybe?
Oh, yeah.
Ugara. Ugara. That's who it is, not Agra. This is somebody different. Ugara is the witch queen of the witch of Parth.
All right, go ahead.
He says, he goes, I was coming here to see you, honestly. He goes, and then I just met this witch, and then she put me in touch with this guy. His name is Van Bruggen.
Van
She goes,
Bruggen?
Bruggen?
Yes, Van Bruggen. He works for Cromwell. He's Cromwell's man. He serves Cromwell. Like
Okay.
he does all the things that Cromwell can't do, like in person.
Why can't he do things in person?
And he goes, because he doesn't want to be seen. He only wants to be seen by like the inner circle. He wants to keep his identity secret.
That's about to
What
change.
do you know what he is?
While I'm listening, I'm actually starting on the sketch.
Okay. He goes, I know. He goes, all I know is he's not from around here. That's what he used to say. I used to say, who are you and what do you, what do you want? And he would say, just kind of do that laugh thing that he does, where you think that he's laughing, but he's really threatening you at the same time.
Have you ever been in any other part of the basement besides that pit where he meets people?
And he goes, I've never been down there ever.
Only in
goes, He goes, I've only been in the house. He goes, Cromwell and Jerk never met me down there. And he says, Van Bergen, then he introduced me to Jerk Stabworthy. He goes, that's all I know. I swear it. And he goes, I've never actually been anywhere inside that house except for the main room.
What about other houses?
Where did you meet with what's his name? His right-hand man.
He says, Van Bergen.
Yeah.
He says, he always came to me. He would always find me. And he goes, I think Agra, she told him where to find me.
So was Agra in town or was she on the road?
He goes, no, she's in town. She has a shop.
Oh, really? Where?
And he goes, in the old part of the city, near the wall.
what's it
He
called?
goes, he says, it's just got a sign with a picture of an eye on it.
Fortune teller.
He goes, yeah, that's right. She's a fortune teller.
All right.
Didn't see this coming.
Or maybe she did. She packed up. We get there and the place is all boarded up and damn
It's
it.
No,
on
it's
fire.
on fire. Yep.
All right. What else?
And he goes, all I know is that he wanted me to put you in touch with him.
Van,
Yeah,
Van Bergen did or Eldon?
Cromwell did. Cromwell, Van Bergen works for Cromwell. I don't know that Agra works for anyone.
What did Cromwell want with Samdo?
And he says,
How did
I
he
th-
even know about him?
he said that he wanted the city watch on his side. That he said that his plan would go a lot easier if the city watch didn't get in his way.
What was his plan?
He never told me.
I say,
By the
Resign-
way, if you thought he smelled bad before, he smells really bad now.
yeah.
Like, were you setting up a guild for him?
And he goes, just getting a couple guys together. That's all I was doing. I was just helping.
What guys?
He goes, he was paying me well. He goes, I was starting with the three that were in that were in the bar with me.
That's it.
I say, did you have any other headquarters other than the house?
And he says, I've heard things. And he goes, that they've got a couple of safe houses. And he goes, I know that Van Bergen hangs out at the cemetery a lot too. That's where he would always want to meet me. He goes, someone would bring me a note. A waitress I would be sitting in a tavern or something, and then somebody would bring me a note, and it would have his initials on it, and it would say, meet me tonight. And I would go and meet him in the cemetery.
There are
Where
those
at-
catacombs.
Was it always the same place?
And he goes, no, I would just wander around until he just appeared. He's another weird one.
They're not
He goes,
human.
he goes, but not as weird as Cromwell. Cromwell was the one that spooked me the worst.
Yeah, he slipped through our fingers.
Your guys are dead though.
He goes, yeah, I figured. He goes, please just get me out of here. Take me away from this demon cat.
I say, Demon Cat, do you think he's telling us everything?
She goes, well, it matches what he said before. And he
Okay.
goes, from what I understand, I mean, he was crying an awful lot.
Can we hose him down or something before we escort him out?
She goes, I'll have the guards bring some buckets.
I walk over to Sam Dahl and I kind of just whisper in his ear. I go, we can do the same thing with him as we did with his subordinates. Use him as bait.
Yeah, I think you should have our little friend follow him.
Or better yet, tag along.
The only thing I'm worried about is if Cromwell catches him and tears him apart. I'm worried about Simon then.
Well, that and the other guards, like you can't have guards keep getting slaughtered trying to protect people, then they won't want to.
We can escort him.
Like, yeah.
And I don't want to put him on one of my ships and risk my crew either.
No, I was just gonna put him on a ship, not necessarily your ship. Yeah, but then the whole ship could go down too.
Keith,
Yeah.
I kind of look around the room. Is there any fires in this room? Any like braziers or?
There is one lantern, and it is kept very dim.
I feel like this guy would be tailing us as well. I look at Ember and I go, can you see anything with your glasses?
What do you mean? Like in the room with us?
Yeah. If he was in his smoke form, would you be able to see that with the glasses?
I think we would be able to see the smoke if he was in here. We could just turn the lantern up.
It's really dark.
I'd just take my
So you-
sword out.
Yeah. I mean, I think we could just make it brighter if he's in here. Like, we'll see him if he tries to go out the door. It's a storage room. It doesn't have windows or a second door. So if he tried to, like, smoke out the door, we would see that. We could just turn up the lights.
All right, this is how this is gonna go. You're gonna stay here for now. We're gonna put you in a cell, and you're safer here than you are out on those streets right now. I'll have the demon cap look after you, okay?
He goes, no,
Something
anything,
else.
no, please, anything but that. Get me away from her.
No, I mean, if something bad happens to you, she'll help you.
She goes, what?
Just watch him. Just watch him in case the smoke guy comes here and tries to kill him in the cell.
She goes, oh, I understand. So
Yeah.
there's somebody who's worse than him.
Oh yeah,
Much worse.
much.
I say he's an underling at best.
I said
You-
we're gonna go looking for the one under this bad guy, but he already slaughtered some guards last night that I asked to watch over a prisoner of his. He
says,
slaughtered them and the whole family.
she said, Andre says, please, whatever you do, don't tell Van Bergen or Cromwell that I told you any of this.
No, I wouldn't.
He goes, I'm already in trouble. I'm gonna be dead anyway. If I
say
show my
we-
face on the street, he's gonna find me. He's gonna get me.
We were already
I just want to
going
make
to
sure that they don't come here and, like, get any guards or pen.
yeah, I would feel better. I would feel better
dangerous.
putting him on a boat.
And if we send him out of town, they're gonna get him.
They're gonna get him anyway.
Just like, how do we do it so that we don't sacrifice somebody else with the guy?
I tell Andre, I go, look, we were already we already knew that the cemetery was possibly our next investigation point. So you didn't tell us anything we didn't already know. I say the fact that the person, the family that died lived right next to the cemetery, you know, just helped to solidify that.
Like, why don't we just heal his leg up and put him in a disguise and send him out of here?
I was about to
Last anybody saw, he had a broken leg. So,
I was like, do we have a way to change his appearance?
oh. Stick him in some armor or something.
Leopold, do you have a way?
But
There's
that'll
not
hold him
big
out of
enough for a guy. He's a big
That's
guy.
No, I asked Leopold. I'm like, is there a way you can disguise him?
Leopold's not there.
Oh,
He was with us. When did he leave?
He didn't even bother because the house was on fire.
Oh,
I walk
All right.
over. I walk over to Andre. I heal him for 16.
No, wait.
Oh wait.
I say, listen, the only way to settle this is to break a promise. And I stab him in the heart.
whoa! We could just have Leopold portal into Kalorgan and get him over here.
No, just
No, because
it's done.
he killed
I do-
he killed Sam Dahl's mentor.
I think Sam Dahl's right.
All right.
Just a loose end.
He
Roll
did.
damage.
I guess.
So I'm
yeah.
like reaching for him, and all of a sudden Sam Dahl's sword comes. And gets him.
Wait.
Reach my hands back. I know that phrase.
17.
Do you say that out loud? The only way to handle this is to break a promise.
Yeah. And 15. 17 and 15.
Solid.
Okay. All right. Andre Lemire is dead.
And Penn is upset that she didn't get to kill him herself.
See,
No.
he's just like, why?
Well,
And he goes blurry.
That what happens when you die?
evaporate into a ghost. I mean, I get it. Like he killed your basically the only father you ever knew,
No, he had
and he was here to ruin your life.
Yeah, he must have known that it was coming, but I was like, we're gonna try and sneak him out and heal him and fuck him.
He's not a good guy. Yeah.
No, he's done. I said, Penn, can you take care of this, please?
Earn this or
And,
something.
and she says, oh, she goes, of course, Captain.
I said, keep.
Penn looks disturbed.
She's just quiet. She doesn't like. She's not. You know.
He's in no position to judge cruelty.
I say, all right, let's move on.
That's the line.
All right. Sledge, you're slightly disturbed by this turn of events.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, as
You
a
don't
ranger,
know Sam Dahl.
as a
But I don't-
ranger, this is not something that you think would be in line with your morals, but
but I didn't.
it and even you, Kate, you have a twinge of like, ooh, this seems off balance, but okay.
I didn't see it come.
I was taken by surprise, but I'm like, but I respect it.
I'm like,
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
well, I
Kate
mean, like I
knows
said, I
too.
was on reaching to heal him.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
But Kate knows, me probably better than Sledge does. So
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I'm like, was there no other way?
no, that was the best choice.
I'm like, he was a risk to anyone that would protect him.
I look at Sam Dahl and I go,
I'm like, and he murdered Sam Dahl's father.
I was just gonna say, I look at Sam Dahl and go, history?
Not anymore.
Yes.
He told us about that, didn't he?
Yeah, I told you before we went in the
Yeah.
tavern.
I
But
say,
I guess I didn't tell. Well, maybe I did tell Sledge too. I don't remember.
I might have been there. I'm not sure. We'll have to watch the video.
It was
So,
when we were going to meet him at the singing whatever sword.
Did I meet you at the Singing Sword, or did I go with you?
No, the three of us went together and then
Mhm.
met us there.
Yeah, you met him before the singing sword.
I
Remember,
say,
you fought the bear.
No, I know we met, but I mean, was I with them physically, or
Yeah,
was
because
Yes.
you and him waited outside while I snuck inside. Remember?
if I knew, I wouldn't ask why he did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he told us before we went in.
If I knew
Kate,
the guy killed his father, I wouldn't care. I wouldn't be as affected.
that's true. Kate, you were going to say something?
I tell everyone, I say, I think our next step is to check out the cemetery, but I have a date with some rats tonight.
All right,
Actually, my next step is I need to see Lord Ethor. We have some business to take care of. I'm like, this rumor about them planning a big heist. It could either be that they're planning to somehow steal the Pelor gold, whatever their stuff is, during the festival. But that could also be a distraction to rob the bank itself. I mean, just the amount of gold we have in there is a huge windfall. And I'm like, so I made plans to move some of it. I'm like, but I think we need to speed those plans up, and we can hide some of it in the vault between the house and the garden.
What about your wizard?
I say, we do have 2 bags of holding. We could probably move it most of it ourselves.
I'm like, well, yeah, that's how we got it all off the ship. And I say, and then there's some that there's a hidden compartment in the heart of the ship that I can hide a considerable amount in as well.
I have a feeling.
You also have the room that only you can get into.
Yep. That's what I was saying. That's what I'm calling the vault.
Oh, okay, got you.
I have a feeling that the priests of Pelor know something is up, and that's why they wanted my protection to help move this relic. So maybe it's a relic and not money they're after. Maybe it's the relic.
It could be.
So maybe we should protect it and see if anyone tries to snatch it.
I'm like, we should, but I think we need to also have eyes on the money itself, because this could be a distraction.
What if we created a duplicate? You said that the wizard could create a copy of something. Maybe they can create a duplicate of the thing they're going to steal. We can use that to track them.
But we don't even know what it is.
You said the relic.
No, I
Yeah, but
mean,
we
yeah,
don't.
we could make a duplicate of the relic if we agree to guard it and move that, and then move the dupe separately, and also have eyes on the vaults. That's
Okay.
a brilliant plan.
When is the relic supposed to be moved? Today or tomorrow?
No, it's 12 days I think we have left.
Oh, I thought he
to
said it was the end of the festival.
No. The festival hasn't started yet. It starts in 12 days.
Oh, okay.
The
Yeah.
preparations are coming to an end.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
and then the festival lasts for a week. On the first day of the closing of the year is when the relic has to make its move. And he did tell you it was a relic, actually.
He
Yeah.
did, but I don't know what it looks like.
Yeah, you don't know what it is.
Right.
But he said the relic has to move from the bank to the Temple of Pelor.
Right. All right.
Ask them what the relic is.
First things first. Let's go talk to Ethor. What time are you supposed to meet your rats?
Nightfall.
Okay, so it's still morning, so let's all go talk to Ethor.
It's midday.
Yeah.
Midday.
Have a messenger deliver your sketch to Leopold to make copies of it.
Yeah,
Or
I'm still
Simon.
working.
Oh, we can send Simon, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So let's head there, and then the plan is to go to the cemetery tonight.
No, I think we should go to the cemetery during the day.
All right, let's go to Ethor and then the cemetery.
Okay.
Okay,
All right, we leave.
all right. We'll pick up next week with your visit to Lord Ethor. This is where we'll leave off.